Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing out there today in Facebook land? Welcome back to the Blue Couch and Company, where you are my blue couches and you are my company on the blue couch. And I welcome you all back today. I'm so excited to just even do this show today. And so, hi. And today is what? Today is Thursday. And what is Thursday? The Big Thumbs Up Thursday. And I give myself a thumbs up. If nobody else don't, I see somebody giving me a thumbs up. Thank you for that. And give yourself a thumbs up as well. And so I appreciate you all from every part of the globe that tune in to see me on the Blue Couch and Company on Thursday, every Thursday at 4 p.m. for the Big Thumbs Up show. And so, you know what? I'm excited and I'm tired too, because this has really been a busy week for me. And so if I didn't get to you, call you back, return a call, or send a text, my apologies to you. Charge it to my head, as they say, and not to my heart. But anyway, I'm excited for each and every one of you. I thank God for every one of you that tune in to the Big Thumbs Up Thursday show, and for being my blue couchers on the blue couch. And so my name is Tommi Faye Fulton, and I'm so happy to be with you today. I want to just, let's see, get rid of some preliminaries, as I would say. And so you can go to lovebeyondpain.com, where you will see my profile and read a little bit about me. And also there you can, I provide you the link if you would like to buy my book from Amazon called Love Beyond Pain, Walk and Run While Wounded. Why? Because we are warriors, and we can do that with the help of the Holy Spirit. So you can find my book there. You can also find my children's book, Cooking for Grandma and Grandpa. It's a story about children, grandchildren, cooking for their grandparents because they love them and they want to show their appreciation. 66-page colorful book. Kids would love it. Teach them how to stay on task, how to work as a team, how to respect one another, and how to love their grandparents. And all of the characters, all 11 of them, are my grandchildren. And so you can also buy that on Amazon as well. So like I said, it's been a busy week. The weather here has been perfect. It has been absolutely beautiful here in the Carolinas. But I do want to stop for a moment, because the weather has not been beautiful for everyone here in the United States. You know, this time of year we look forward to the snow coming, and you look forward to the holidays, especially Christmas and New Year's. And so, you know, this year, last week, you know, for this coming year, last week we had some terrible tornadoes to go across 6 states, and people died. And a lot of people were injured and, you know, suffered great loss. And so just want to stop for a moment and just recognize and give my condolences to those who may have lost a family member or may have lost a friend or a neighbor. It's a sad situation, you know. Yes, we're having beautiful weather where I am here, but not so much beautifulness in other parts of the country. And so we mourn with those that mourn, and we laugh with those that laugh, and we cry with those that cry here in the United States. And so, you know, last year, a lot of people passed away from the pandemic all over the globe. And so we also send our condolences out to those family members and anyone who has suffered loss for any particular reason, that they lost a loved one. It's, you know, it's even hard to know what to say. But I just want, you all to know that I am thinking about you. And there was one particular story that really got me. They all are heartbreaking. But there was this one story on CNN of this young girl who had two small challenged children. What I mean by challenged, they had special disabilities. And so she was sharing her story, and she was sharing how she didn't have time to react to the tornadoes coming. So all she could do was to grab her two little kids and go and get in the bed. And this story really touched my heart. And so she went on to tell the story that the tornado took away the entire house, lifted the bed up, and she was inside of the tornado with her two children in a bed. And the bed dropped, the tornado dropped the complete bed with her and her kids in it 200 yards away from her house. And she suffered a broken arm, and she had some cuts on her face. Her children only had some cuts on their face, but no broken arms, no internal organs, or nothing. That is a miracle. That is a miracle. And, when she was sharing the story, what came to mind, if any of you all ever watched The Wizard of Oz, as children, when we were growing up during the holidays, they always show The Wizard of Oz, the marching wood soldiers. Those are some of the things we grew up watching, these television programs during the holidays. So The Wizard of Oz was about a little girl named Dorothy who ran away from home. But anyway, her community ended up with a tornado. And so she ended up coming back home, but all of her family members were down in the cellar, and the cellar was locked. She couldn't get back. She couldn't get in the cellar. They couldn't hear her stomping to get in. So she went in the house, and she got hit in the head with something, some kind of debris. This is how the story goes. And the whole house got picked up by the tornado, and it was sat down in a place called Oz. And so when this girl was telling the story about herself and her two little children, how the tornado had picked them up and took them 200 yards away from their home and sat that bed down with them still in it, that is a miracle. That is truly, truly a miracle to behold. It's just amazing the things that people go through. Sometimes we think we're going through something, but other people are going through more difficulties than we are. There was another man, an older gentleman. He also told his story, how he didn't have time to react from the tornado. And he was going through the doorway. So you imagine a door frame. And he said by the time he got in the doorway, in the door frame, the whole house just exploded. And the only thing that was standing was him on his knees inside that door frame. The door frame was the only thing that was left, with him kneeling down in that door frame. So many stories, so many miraculous things that, go on. For what reason some die and some don't, that's in the hand of God. We have no control over that. We have no say over that. We want everyone to live when they go through something like a natural disaster. But those were just two stories that really kind of caught my attention. Whenever I think about how tough things may be for me, I think about people like that, and I'm reminded that I don't really have room to be crying, A lot of times I cry more for other people than I do for myself, but, I'm a very soft person and a very emotional person when it comes down to, people who are vulnerable, people who are children, babies, animals, elderly, people who cannot help themselves. And so I just wanted to share those stories with you before I delve into what I'm going to do here. And I just want to also say that we are approaching the end of another year, 2021. Whew, what can I say about it? The only thing I can say is that God is still good, and he will always be good. And we thank him for his love. We thank him for his divine protection. And we thank him for how he keeps us and provides us and take care of us and put us in such a beautiful world and around such beautiful people. And so I am grateful, despite my own little dark cloud that came over my life, this year. I'm happy, and I just want to let you all know that, yes, I was wounded and I was injured to my soul, but, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I'm thankful and I'm appreciative, that it wasn't any worse than what it was. And so God took me through that, and he kept me in my right mind through all of that, because when you're injured to your soul, some people just do not know how to handle events and things happening to them. Traumatic incidences are real when it affects your mind, your will, and your emotions. It's real. And a lot of people don't survive it. And I understand why they don't survive it. And I don't condone that anyone take their lives. But it is a tough thing when you have to go through grief of loss, grief of someone that you love has injured you to your soul and have affected you and changed your life dramatically. It's tough. But, I think about it in terms of it could have been worse. And so I'm thankful and I'm grateful for what God is doing in my life. And I think what it did for me was to bring me to another chapter in my life. Sometimes we go through tragedies and we go through emotional pain, but what it does, for me, it caused my resiliency, through the Holy Spirit to be strengthened. It caused my faith to be strengthened in God, and to know that he has carried me and he will continue to carry me through anything that I might face. I may not be facing death like some people have. Some people may say, well, wait till, somebody in your family member die. Well, some people have died in my family this year. And, but I thank God that, he has watched over my 4 children, and he's watched over my grandchildren, and he's watched over me, and so I'm just really thankful and really grateful, even though I may be, and the reason why I'm tired is because I am excited. My siblings are coming down here to spend the weekend with me just before the Christmas holidays. And I've just been preparing and running back and forth and preparing dinner for them and getting myself together and getting the house together. And I posted some pictures of little different sections in the house that has little Christmas holiday, decorations and so forth, So I just wanted to share that with you all, and just let you know that I love you. And I thank God for you for being in my life and showing up on the Big Thumbs Up Thursday on the blue couch with me. So today, I have made this before. It was a very favorite of mine that as I was growing up that my mom made for us. And it's called red beef stew. And so it's not hard to make at all. You just got to know the right proportions to put in, and how much seasoning you want to put in. I don't really give measurements on how much seasoning anyone puts in their food. You put it in for your taste, okay? But this is red beef stew, And with the holidays and with the weather, now the weather here is really cold at night and is really cold in the mornings, but during the afternoons it's really nice. So something like this for dinner can be really, really good. And I make a bunch of it because I put it in small containers. My heart's out to you too. For whoever's sending those hearts out to me, thank you. I make a bunch of it. I put it in containers, enough serving, and I put about 6 to 8 of them in the freezer. And I don't have to really worry about cooking through the week, so I just pull that out. Now, last week, I made a lasagna that would knock your socks off. Oh my God. And so it was just me eating. And so I just cut it all up, the rest of it, put it in the freezer. And whenever I was hungry, you know, for lunch, I would just pull it out and put it in the microwave and eat it. And I also made my 3-bean chicken soup. I made that and the lasagna at the same time. And it's really time saving if you were able to make all of your food at one time, get some freezer containers, put it in the containers, put it in the freezer, forget about it. And you know, when you're hungry or when your kids are hungry, you can just go in there and put it in the microwave or sit it out on the counter. Excuse me, I'm a little warm. Sit it out on the counter and let it thaw out and just put it in the microwave. It's just that simple. Make your favorite dish, or you can make some of the dishes that I've shown you here on the Big Thumbs Up Thursday. So let's get started. Like I said, this is not difficult. This is something my mom made, and she made a big pot of it because my mom was feeding 17 to 18 kids at one time. And so, yes, all of us were related. And my mom and dad, God bless their hearts. I think I told a story once that my oldest sister had passed away and left 8 children. And then my mom still had all of her children. And we were all from ages 6 to 16 at that time. So my mom and dad had quite a job, you know, taking care of us and seeing to all of our needs. And they did it well. And so I thank God and I honor my parents, Thomas and Odessa Venerable. Thank God for you. Okay, so what I have here is I have about, I guess about, for what I want to do, about 2 pounds of stewing beef, okay? And stewing beef comes in cuts, all right? It's not a whole piece of meat there, cut up. And on the label, it should say stew beef on there. And that's the best thing you can buy for this kind of meal. And so you want to cook that ahead of time. Put you some onions in there. Put you some whatever amount of seasoning that you want in there. Now, I use Goya. You know, I sprinkle everything to taste, so I'm not going to give you any measurements on that. So I put Goya in there. I put parsley. This is what is called complete seasoning. It's really good because it has a whole variety of different types of herbs in here, all right? So I put that in there, toss in a little garlic powder, and some pepper. And if you want it to be a little bit sweet and a little bit salty, just maybe put your half a cup of sugar in there. It just depends on how much you're making. And because I am making a big pot, I will put a half a cup in here. But if you're on any kind of diet restrictions, like no salt, no sugar, then you know to skip all of that. But if you're good to go, then you can put, you know, whatever it is to taste for you in there. I got some mushrooms in here that I had left over. So what we're going to start with first is that, and these are a lot of vegetables that I already had. And so I just will go ahead and use them up. No need to throw them away. So this was just some mixed vegetables that I already had. So I'm going to add that in there. And I'm going to put some green beans in. Okay. And I know I'm going to have to step over here for a minute because I forgot my spoon and I need a spoon. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm back. Got some peas I'm going to put in there. All of that goes into this wonderful red beef stew. Got some carrots. Put that in there. All kinds of vegetables. Now, if you don't want it red, then, and you just want it beefy, brown, you know, beefy, you can do it like that too. But because this is the way my mom used to make it, and I loved it, it's the way I'm going to make it. And so you want to put you some corn in there. And that's whole kernels of corn, not cream of corn. All right. We're going to put in some diced tomatoes. And this is 14 ounces for the pot size that I'm making. I'm going to put that in. Stir this around a little bit. It's already looking good, already smelling wonderful. You know, and I'll have, you know, this for my dinner tonight. But the rest of it, I'll just store away and freeze it. Okay. Next, we're going to put in, now you don't really necessarily have to put whole tomatoes in. The reason why I do it is because you know, again, I saw my mother do it, and these are whole tomatoes, okay? They're peeled whole tomatoes, and so you want to put that in. You don't have to chop them up now, because once this gets to cooking, they will fall apart. But if you want to chop them up once they cook a little bit, then please do, okay? And so it's not as red as it should be, because we got one more thing we got to put in there. But I'm just going to mix it up, because we got two more things to put in, sorry. So yeah, I've been busy decorating and cleaning and running back and forth and stuff, you know, because I'm excited that my siblings are coming down to spend time here just before the holidays with me, and I'm just excited about it. So, you know, and I love to cook. So the other thing we're going to put in here is this is about I'll say this is about maybe 3 cups of potatoes. Okay, looks like a lot, don't it? Put all that in there. All right, I'm going to stir this up a little bit. So I hope that you all are going to have a wonderful holiday. Not everybody celebrates Christmas, but in America, we celebrate Christmas here. Okay, got one more thing we're going to put in this. I'm just going to want to stir it up a little bit more before I finish it off. Yeah, it's a lot, but remember, I'm freezing this. Okay, and this is just so delicious. And it just, every time I eat it, I think of my mother. Okay, and I'm sure that you all got dishes that are near and dear to your heart that you make during the holidays or make throughout the year that reminds you of your mom. Okay, the last thing we're going to put in here is some tomato paste. And it is a tomato paste that really give it its really red color and its thickness, because this is a beef stew. Okay, it's not a soup, it's a stew. All right, so that's 1 small can of tomato paste. Okay, all right. And that tomato paste will break down and spread throughout the whole stew, so I don't really have to worry about kind of getting it all spread in there now. But I got nothing else to do, so just shake it up a little bit here. And I'm just going to shake a little bit of pepper and a little bit more parsley in this. And so as it cooks, you know, by the time 6 o'clock roll around, this will be ready for me to eat some of it. And so, so it's going to cook, it's going to, you know, cook, bubble up, and everything is going to mesh together. So this is really good when it's cold outside and you just want something that's hearty and thick and warm to your soul. My mother's red beef stew is what you want to make. Okay? All right, that looks fabulous. All right. Put a little bit more parsley in here. So since I had asked my elder sister what would she like for me to cook for them, so I gave her the choice of fried chicken, ginger fried cabbage with rice and corn and banana bread and stuff. So she's like, no. And I said, well, what about some lasagna, tossed salad, some corn, and you know, I'm going to make 2 sweet potato pies. I think I showed you all on how to make sweet potato pies because my mom also made great sweet potato pies. And so my sister gave me the ingredients, instructions on how to make a great sweet potato pie. And I have to tell you, it really came out just like my mom made it. It really did. So I am my mother's daughter. So what else do I want to share with you all? Okay, so next year, you all stay tuned. I will be adding another leg to the Blue Couching Company on Wednesdays, and I'm not going to share with you what that is, but I am working on it. I'm getting the website and everything built up for it, and it's going to be great. You know, it's going to be something that you can participate in, okay? And so I'm looking forward to working with that and working with my partners across the globe and working with my partners here in the United States. I'm looking forward to all of that on next year. So I'll share more about that with you at another time. And I also want to remind you about my aprons. All aprons that I sell goes to a charitable cause, and this is my big thumbs up apron. And so they come in different colors, blue, red, green, yellow, pink, all different colors, okay? And so if you're interested, just inbox me and I will ship you a big thumbs up apron. And like I said, all proceeds go to a charitable cause. So I want to talk to you all today about, and I'm going to just leave this uncovered for right now, because like I said, I am a bit tired, but I do want to share with you all before I go, okay? So what I want to just share with you all today is something that we all have, and it's one of the littlest members of our body, but it is the most powerful part of our body, okay? And there's a scripture in Proverbs 18:21, all right? And it says, the tongue, that thing right there, has the power of life and death. And so just saying that the tongue has power of life and death, we can either use our tongue, use our voice to build someone up or break someone down. All right? And I know that at times, even for myself, emotions get high and things are said, and you know, and before you know it, things are out of your mouth. You can't take it back once it's out, you know. But you can apologize and ask for forgiveness, okay? But in any case, life and death, the Word of God says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. You can speak life to someone by encouraging them, building them up. You know, maybe people have low self-esteem. Maybe there's people that are not feeling too good this year, are not well this year, are going through difficult times, whether it's breakup in a marriage, whether it's breakup in a home, whether children are left home, or you know, whatever the case may be, and they're just going through a difficult time, you can build those people up by giving them an encouraging word. And what have I always said that the Big Thumbs Up show is about? It's about hope, healing, and encouragement. So I want to be able to do something to bring you hope, you know, to let you know my personal stories, things that I have gone through, traumatic, deep traumatic soul wounds, you know. But there's hope, even for your soul wounds. There's hope. So don't give up. Don't give up on yourself because someone else gave up on you. Don't give up on yourself because someone else decided to walk away and not receive you. It wasn't about you. It wasn't about me. It was about that person. You see, and sometimes we do take things very deeply, and we all can be easily offended. You know, the Bible says that an offended brother is worse than a city in contention. And so, with that being said, on that particular note, that, you know, I have this friend who is a girlfriend of mine, and I was going through something really, you know, emotional stuff, you know. But through the course of our communication, you know, things got kind of off kiltered a little bit. But, you know, I had to come to the realization, you know, when you've said something or you've done something, you have to examine yourself and say, you know, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? Could I have said something differently, done something differently? You have no control over anyone else, but you do have power over yourself, you know. And if you have the courage and the manliness and the womanliness to call that person and tell them how sorry you are, ask for apology. You know, I said that, you know, forgiveness, just asking for forgiveness is not enough. The Bible says, confess your faults one to another that you may be healed. And a lot of times we take forgiveness very lightly. You know, we'll send a text message or we'll send an email and say, well, you forgive me. And that person may forgive you. But that person still may be wounded. And in the age of technology, we've gotten away from our humanness, that we don't pick up the phone or go to that person's home if you can and talk to them face to face. That is so important. We have lost that. And so healing someone's soul means you confess your fault. You tell them what you did wrong. You validate that person's soul and you let them know how you wounded them. Not to just ask for forgiveness because you want to be able to go to heaven and you want to clear the slate, so you ask for forgiveness so in case you die, you make it into heaven. No, that is so selfish. That is so selfish. You know, confessing your fault to someone else is helping that person to be released in their soul. It's almost like a spiritual unlocking them and taking them out of a spiritual prison within their own heart, within their own soul, because of the wounds, because of the hurt that you caused. So it's not enough just to ask for forgiveness. You know, the Bible even says that, you know, leave your gifts at the altar and go and make it right with your brother. So what does go mean? That means you have to physically do something. You have to take action. Not just send a text message or send an email, and sometimes not just even making a phone call. Now, if that person is in another state, then you'll have no other choice, okay? So we have to take action. Love is an action word. Love, and I'm going to shock a lot of you with this, love is not an emotion. Love is of God. Love is not an emotion. Love is an act. that ignites emotions. You didn't know that, did you? Just imagine that if love was an emotion, God would stay emotional all the time. But love is of God, and he that loveth knows God, but he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. So love is action. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. You see that action? It's not enough just to tell someone that you love them with words. Prove it, show it, demonstrate it in your actions, in your behavior. Prove it to them. Jesus proved it to us by dying on the cross. He showed it that he loved us. So on this holiday, this year, or another week or two, it's going to be a brand new year. Some of us will be here, some of us won't be here. But while we are here and while we still have breath in our bodies, if we know that we have offended someone and hurt someone or said something to someone, go to that person if you can. Go to them. Do your part. Now, they may not receive you, may not never want to see you ever again. But at least you made the attempt and you tried. And the burden is lifted from your shoulder, even if they don't accept you. You know, reconciliation is not always about two people coming back together, because coming back together, it still may not work out. You know, some relationships just don't work out. But reconciliation means reconciling the soul and the spirit of one another. Cleaning up the wound. Okay? So find the courage. If you've hurt someone this year, before next year, don't take this year's hurt and transfer it over into 2022. Don't take it with you. Don't take that baggage with you. Fix it while you can. Fix it while that person is still living, because we don't know when any of us may not live to see tomorrow. The next moment, the next second, the next day. We don't know. So we do what we can do, right? So the last thing I want to share with you all before I go today. This stew looks and smells wonderful. I wish I can just invite all of you over to dinner and cook for you and share this meal with you. But this is the only way right now I can share it with you. But the last thing I want to do today is just give some shout outs to some individuals that I have come in contact with this year that has changed the trajectory of my life and whom I appreciate. So I'm just going to call out a few people. And I know that they say it's really dangerous to be calling out names and stuff, but if I skipped over someone, charge it to my head and not to my heart, okay? But I just felt in my heart to write these individuals down because they made an impact in my life, and they may not even know how much they have changed my life, okay, for the better. So I want to give a shout out to my friend Mary in Maryland. Thank you, Mary, for being a part of my life this year through a very difficult time. Thank you so much. I love you. God bless you. God bless your husband and your children, your family, your home, everything that you do. May it be blessed by the hand of God. I want to give a shout out to my friend Shannon, who's in California. Thank you, Shannon, for coming into my life almost 5 years ago. I know we don't talk that often, but you are the go-to girlfriend. You really are. And so, Shannon from California, thank you for being in my life. I want to give a shout out to Salem. Salem is in Florida. Thank you, Salem. You know, your name is so beautiful. Your mother did a wonderful job naming you Salem, you know. And you have such a brightness and such a joy and such energy about you. And I thank God for you. Because what you did, you introduced me to someone else who was very important. So I want to give a shout out to Kathy with a K. Thank you, Kathy, for your instruction, for talking with me, sharing with me, giving me insight on the things I want to do next year, and introducing me to one of my partners. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate you. I want to give a shout out to Sarah. Sarah is in south of France. She was one of my guests on my show. Thank you, Sarah, for coming on and being my guest this year in 2021. I want to give a shout out to Joelle. Joelle is in Colorado. Thank you, Joelle. I look forward to talking to you soon when you come back from vacation. I want to give a shout out to Shane. Shane is my web developer. Awesome. If you need a good web developer, inbox me. Good price, great work. Thank you, Shane, for being my web developer. I appreciate you so much. We got so much work we got to do ahead of us for next year. Let's see. I want to give a shout out to the McTaylor's Tailor Shop for doing my aprons. Thank you so much for working with me, partnering with me, and supporting me in what I want to do. And I look forward to us continuing our partnership in the new year to come up. I want to give a shout out to Pastor James' niece and his wife, Nancy, and the Ignite family. I met them this year, and it didn't go so well with my relationship, but you all were there to help support me and encourage me and to pray for me. And so I just want to give a shout out to you today because you impacted my life. And I just want to say thank you to you. I want to say thank you to all of my children, all 4 of my children. You know, I said life is like Bobby, Portia, Quentin, and Jennifer. You know, I thank God for my beautiful, brilliant children that he has blessed me with. And I thank God for all of the 11 grands through those children. So thank you. I want to say thank you to all of my siblings for being a part of my life. I look forward to you coming down here. 2021 is about to end. And what better way for me than to have you all here for the holidays. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to all of my cousins that's up north in New York as well as down south. Thank you for watching me on the Big Thumbs Up. Thank you for being part of my Facebook family. And just want to let you know that I love you. I want to give a shout out to Chris and Jamie. I won't go into who they are, but I just want to give a shout out to them. And you all be praying for Chris. You know, just when you pray, just lift his name up and say, I pray for Chris. And God will know who you're talking about. I want to give a shout out to Julie and the Prayer Kids in Miramar. Pray for Julie. If you ever see Julie on Facebook with her 13 children, she is 27 years old, and she has taken in 13 orphan children that lost their parents. And she supports them, but she supports them through your giving, through our giving. And so we want to continue to support her for the great work that she's doing there in Miramar, okay? I want to say thank you and how grateful I am to all of my supporters on the Blue Couching Company and all of you who tune in to the Big Thumbs Up Thursday show. You got another show coming. I got another show coming up on Wednesday of next year, every Wednesday. I won't go into it now, but I want to see some of you all's faces on that Wednesday as well and support what I'm going to be doing on there. So thank you to the Blue Couchers, where you are my company on the Blue Couch. Let's see. And I just want to say thank you to all of my partners across the globe and let you know how grateful I am for what you do for others. And I look forward to working with you in the coming year, okay? So this is my mom's red beet stew for the holiday season, and I'm going to enjoy it tonight after it cooks a little bit more. Those potatoes have to cook. Oh, do not pre-cook your tomatoes, your potatoes, okay? They'll cook inside of the stew, all right? So thank you again for joining me. This is the Blue Couch and Company, where you are my company on the blue couch. And this is the Big Thumbs Up Thursday show. And I am your host, Tommi Faye Fulton. Remember me, pray for me, okay? And I will pray for you. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye for now.